Hey guys, I'm Heidi with Lilac and Vine Orchards and super excited because not only are we building a flower farm from scratch with like max of $200, but we're getting officially started seeds into the ground today. I cannot wait. Come and see what we're doing. I'm so excited to get started. Hey guys, I'm so glad you guys are here. You know that we share over on our main channel, Heavenly Minded Home, but we started Lilac and Vine Orchards here to share more about our just flower farming process. Being first year flower farmers, literally like first month flower farmers, I feel like we are totally behind everything here. We have like no money to put into this. We're doing everything based off of what we have here on the property. And we've been working really hard over the past, couple weeks to just get spaces figured out, to get garden beds ready. And so I shared some videos already. You guys can go back and check those out, how we built our garden beds with like nothing. We just used what we had here and available to us to go ahead and build out a few beds. We are going to be planting sunflower seeds, lots and lots of sunflowers here in the next little bit. So we've got to get some succession planning going there with these different types of sunflowers. But right now I need to get these garden beds going. Now, maybe this is something you wanted to try. Maybe you've wanted to step out. Maybe you wanted to give it a shot, but you have all these reasons why you just shouldn't, or you just haven't, or you just can't, whatever it is. Trust me, we've lived here for nearly 10 years. The idea of planting flowers was our first thought when we stepped onto this property and started renting it nearly 10 years ago as wedding florists. We were like, oh my gosh, we already owned a company, my husband and I, we did wedding planning, wedding florist. Hi, sweetie. And we knew that we should do that here on this property. We never did, right? Because, well, we're only renting, we're too busy. We had all these reasons why we shouldn't. We're doing it now. Now, I could sit here and be like, maybe we'll wait until next year. It is kind of late. We really don't have any money to put into this. We're in ministry full time. We don't really have extra money that we can just build a new project. It's kind of late. I don't know if we'll get anything. We don't have the nice soils and different things to prep our stuff. Like, we could have a lot of reasons why we're not starting now. But you know what? Either it'll be something the Lord blesses, something that we can do, something that we can learn from, something that we can move forward with, or it won't. It really is that simple. We're just gonna do it. And if we don't get seeds in the ground, none of it's going to matter because there won't be any summer flowers to be dealing with. So we have been plotting, planning, moving, reassessing, putting stuff back in, and built up our 4 garden beds. You guys can check out this video right up here if you would like to see exactly how we did that with no money. So making raised beds, pretty no-till, using the soil that we kind of gathered from around the property, kind of mulching it with dry leaves and things like that. It honestly could use some more. I don't think it's enough, but we're kind of working with it as we go. I've been on the chip drop list for so long and I never get anything. I got one order years ago and that was it, but we're working on that. I don't want to keep waiting though and doing nothing and let all the time pass us by. It's already May, like it's middle of May. We've got to get going here. So we're gonna go ahead and get some seeds into these prepped beds. I've gone ahead and I have marked them out just using branches and set up square foot gardening. So around our beds, the beds are 4 feet by 10 feet with one that's like 4 feet by like 12.5 feet because we got a little wonky. But I went ahead and measured them out, marked them out by just putting sticks into the ground at every foot. So that way I can kind of have a visual of where I want to be planting. And so I have been working on my graph here and plotting out and replotting and adjusting and changing how we want to lay out these garden beds. So these 4 beds that we have up on the top up here, we are going to do a mixture of dahlias, zinnias, poppies, some marigold, snapdragons, amaranth, sweet peas, and then some big dinner plate dahlias as well. That's what's going in up there. And I want to make sure that we're putting them in a succession so that way we ideally have blooms all throughout the summer and into the fall. That's the goal here. We are in zone 7B. We usually have a great growing season. And so I'm kind of plotting these out, how we can do them, how we can space them out. We did go ahead and invested about $32 today into getting some just cheap bags of topsoil. It's not the best. I'm sure we could have better and all of that, but it's what we had. Really, it's not even what we had because we've spent what we had. This was actually taking a little extra, but we spent, maybe it was 25. Anyways, it was like 20-30 bucks that my brother went. He did pick up some topsoil. We're gonna go ahead and add a little bit extra into the kind of blocked out squares that we're planting in today, just because I think those beds do need a little bit more, but because we're trying to like race the clock and get stuff in the ground, it was worth it to spend a little money so that we can get stuff in and get stuff going. Our soil has been, it's pretty healthy soil. It is more of a clay soil, but we have great growth around the property. Things have been left totally natural, totally open, and I think it'll be okay. So, could be my famous last words. We'll see how this first year goes. But I want to get up there. I want to start getting some of these flowers into their designated spots, kind of plotting them out here. I kind of just used graph paper, made our 4 different beds, and you know, researched how many seeds should go per square foot of each of these different types, and making sure that kind of following the path of the sun and how it goes, that things will properly align so that way nothing is blocking out something else's light. And then we're going to kind of break that up so that way we plant a little bit, wait a week or two, plant a little more, wait a week or two, and kind of break that up. So hopefully all summer and into the fall, we have some great, gorgeous blooms. So I'm gonna finish kind of spacing out exactly where things need to go. We're gonna go up there. It's evening time. I was just kind of letting the sun finishing going down so we can get up there and get to work while it's a little bit cooler and beautiful out, and start praying that we see some gorgeous, gorgeous blooms here in a handful of weeks. So that's what we're up to. It's just exciting, right? It's just exciting to like take the idea and actually put it into action, saying, let's just get some seeds in the ground, right? Worst case scenario is nothing grows, okay? I'd much rather get to the problem where we have more flowers than we know what to do with. Let's get to there, right? That's where we're heading towards. So got some pretty stuff, and I'm just excited to get it in and at least kickstart the process. If it's what we should be doing and where we should be, it'll all work out. But if we never get stuff in the ground, we'll never find out. So I can't keep letting that hold me back. I just need to get it in there, right? Right, we're gonna do it. All right, forgive the blinding sun. I went ahead and just got some water and everything. I've got my notebook here. I've gone ahead and just laid out the 4 beds, right? From where the sun comes up to where it goes down, so things aren't getting marked out. And then I blocked out in here what week I want to plant things in. So that way, ideally, by our first frost date, everything will have had time to bloom. I've got a couple that are pushing it a little bit, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. So I'm gonna go ahead today. These are just from the store. Dahlias. I have lots and lots of zinnias. I did 2 different types of poppies, just because I'm California and I love poppies. Did some marigolds, a lot of yellows in this. Mix of snaps, and gotta have amaranthus. So I've got these that we're gonna go ahead and put in here. And then I did get some big dinner plate dahlias that I think it worked out perfect if I do 2 different types of flowers per bed up here. And then I'm gonna put my dinner plate dahlias, I think, separately. Just since we have the space, I don't need to squeeze them in. And so I've gone ahead and laid out, you know, for each one of these squares, how many seeds need to go in each one. So since I don't have enough topsoil to fill the entire bed right now, and I don't have funds to go and purchase a lot, I've even tried asking the few people we do know here locally if like they had any compost or anything we can come pick up. And it's just, everybody's in the thick of gardening right now. We do live out in the country more, and they just didn't have any extra. He was like, I would give you plenty, but I just don't have any. Like, he has people who have lined up their trailers at his property, like, to get some when he has it. So I was like, you know what, it's okay. We'll use what we can. that means that I've marked off, you know, what week I want to be planting stuff in. So week 1, I marked all my squares where stuff needs to go. I'm gonna go ahead and just put topsoil in the exact places that I need it right now to kind of fill in these beds a little bit more as I put these seeds in the ground. So we're gonna kind of just patchwork it together right now, but Lord willing, we can pick up a little more topsoil as we go and kind of fill them in as we do this. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this first set in, so at least we will have this many guys in some soil with a little bit of topsoil over them, and hopefully we'll get some stuff growing here soon. The only thing I didn't bring down is I didn't think about soaking my sweet peas. I've never actually grown sweet peas from seed. Used them in cut arrangements all the time. I bought them just as like already growing stuff, but I've never done them from seed. I did see that it was highly recommended to at least soak them overnight before planting them. So I'm gonna go ahead and prep. They were the last ones on my list to get planted. I'm gonna go ahead and prep them. The seeds, I'm gonna soak them tonight, so that way tomorrow morning I can come out and put them in the soil, and hopefully that's what I should do. So anyways, got them here. I've got how many I need in each square kind of figured out. I'm doing 2 dahlias per square foot, 2 zinnias per square foot. I saw 9 poppies per square foot. To me, that kind of seemed like a lot, but that's what I was finding when I was looking into it. 4 marigolds, 4 snapdragons, 4 amaranth, and then I will do 4 sweet peas when I get those soaked tomorrow. So let's start putting some seeds in the soil, and hopefully you guys will be watching this and then you'll be like, oh my gosh, remember when it was just dirt that we pulled up from the forest and now it's these big, beautiful, bushy gardens, right? That's what we're going for. Also why we did them all the way over here closest towards the hill, because when I sit down there on my patio and drink my coffee and have my music playing, I should theoretically be able to look up here this summer and see big full garden beds. So it's kind of a win-win for, yay, stuff is growing, we can cut stuff and sell it, and yay, I get to sit here and look up at my beautiful flower gardens. That's the hope anyways. Hi, buddy. Is that too boring? Apparently Marigold back there got a little bored and fell asleep while I was planting. Okay. Everything, nearly, for at least week 1 is in the ground, except for the sweet peas, which I'm going to soak tonight. I kind of prep their spot over there so I can put them in. I also saw on Pinterest or something, hi buddy, he's my buddy. I saw an idea with square foot gardening where you just essentially make a template out of cardboard and then you can just kind of set it over your square and poke your holes in. And I was like, I think I really like that idea. I definitely love that idea. So I think we'll definitely be doing that going forward. Hello, buddy. You were napping. So those are in. I'm just going to soak the sweet peas before I put them in tomorrow morning. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the hose on and just give everything a nice drink tonight so it's got some good moisture in there. Everything is covered with soil and some mulch of just the leaves from our forest here around us. And hopefully in a couple weeks we'll start seeing signs of life. The other thing that I need to find a spot for are my cafe au lait dinner plate dahlias. And I'm thinking we kind of have this like edge here where the ground kind of dips down to like where our beds are. I was thinking maybe right along there I might plant those. I think they'd be okay because the sun comes from that way and goes over, so any shadow cast, I think it should be okay, but I'm contemplating where I need to put those. So once I figure out where the cafe au laits are going to go, that will be everything that we have purchased and planned for this here that will be in the ground. And then we just need to get going with more sunflowers. So we'll do a whole video just about sunflowers, and then I need to add everything up and see exactly how much we've spent with our $200 budget. Oops, careful, buddy. So I need to finish that up. That'll be hopefully the next videos I get done here, and then you all can join me as we sit here and stare at the dirt and hope for little green shoots to come popping up. But I'm excited. I'm glad to have it in. Now I need to figure out a good calendar system for myself so I can stay on track with when things need to be planted and go in the ground. And Lord willing, before we know it, we will be officially flower farming. So thank you guys for hanging out with me, seeing what we're growing in our cut flower garden here as first-year flower farmers, getting the seeds in the ground, all with our super DIY homemade beds, and hopefully we will have some great stuff here soon. So if you guys want to hang around and watch a little more, here's a great video for you, tell you a little bit more about us and who we are, and we will see you guys back here hopefully soon. Bye friends!